as much of a supporter for Ye's outrage against the industry as a whole, as much as he's played too many games.
Real life. If it ain't real life, if it ain't hot,
If it ain't real life, just ain't real life street stars. Know what time it is.
And if you don't mind, Jag, speaking of the little fires, we have to touch on all these other lawsuits that start coming out on, and I want to start with first Kanye's lawsuit,
Mm,
where
yeah, Kanye got a suit, Faith got a suit, CJ got a suit. Matter of fact, it seems like everybody that didn't testify for Diddy is getting a suit these days.
yeah, Kanye was actually there to go support Diddy, and then of course,
Really? Why didn't he do it on the stand? Because they
mm,
said he walked into the overflow room to see if his name was going to come up on the docket, and the second he found out he was clear, he rolled out.
he rolled, he left, he
Sound like
left quickly.
he was more interested in saving his own neck than saving Diddy's. He needs to be saving some money, is what he needs to be doing. As much of a supporter for Ye's outrage against the industry as a whole, as much as he's played too many games, and they're gonna fix him. I see it coming. They're gonna fix him. He might still have that aha moment that I think he gonna have before it's all said and done, but I think he good and fixed up. He was 400, 4 billion and then down to 400 million, and he goes back up to 2 billion, down to 400 million. It's like the yo-yo effect with his net worth. It's starting to feel a little contrived. How are you banned from all of these countries? How are all of your businesses being drained? Nobody wants to have anything to do with you, and you keep bouncing back to billionaire status. How? Oh, that ain't making no sense. Not even the Jigga Man can pull that magic trick off. So who's pulling it? Who's bankrolling you? Somebody's bankrolling you. The rest of them's being bankrolled. So why don't we find out who's bankrolling Kanye? I want to know. They don't even bother to look up what federal jurisdiction actually is, what the statutes are. They just sit there and they lie. I can think of 25 content creators that are still running Ali Carter content like she was ever a real anything. Ali Carter's been out there selling her spiel with her pimp, her alleged pimp, Shelly Carter, a white woman who is a disgraced CPA person who was ordered to stay away from that girl and her family. How did she end up adopting her at 19? Her own mother, Tori Outlaw, because that's Ali Carter's real name, Tori Outlaw, which is part of the reason why she started lying, saying that she was Tupac's daughter because her last name was Outlaw, while attacking the Black Panther Party. It's just so funny because she was out there about as long as I was out there, which only goes to prove that the elites have been looking for someone to counter me this entire time. They tried to hook that little weirdo girl on me, and the closest that she could get to it was making videos talking about here, kitty, kitty. Take a nap. Keep my name out your mouth. And if y'all content creators want to talk about something regarding Tory Outlaw, why don't you go to the authorities and ask them when they're going to hunt down that woman that her own mother said has her hooked on pharmaceuticals while she's sitting here lying online? She's been exposed 8 times in the past 3 years, and people are still buying into this. While real victims and real survivors are being affected by all of these lies.
Well,
God bless you, Uncle Mike. I don't know how you still do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Jack, I want to talk about Chris Brown getting arrested in London.
yeah, he got arrested and then he settled that. Now they got more charges. They won't leave him alone, will they?
Right, right. What do you think? Extortion? What do you see here?
I think his case for 500 million against who was it? What company was it? Was it Disney or something like that? What no, what was it? NBC for that
Yeah.
documentary that they did on him. He was suing for 500 million. I think it was looking good. Um and it's the same thing that it always is. They'll batter ram you and batter ram you and batter ram you until you lay down.
Right,
It's just pathetic. It's I you gotta people have to stop being so gullible. When you see somebody constantly being attacked over and over and over and over and over again, a lot of people, didn't really pay attention to how they attacked Michael Jackson and what they did to Michael Jackson.
right,
And Michael Jackson did settle some claims, and people thought because he settled some claims that, that obviously made him guilty or whatever the case may be. I don't ever remember him settling a case as fast as Diddy did. Um, Diddy didn't even tell Cassie to take him to court. He paid out right away. He wanted that to get quiet quick. But the thing
yeah,
is, when you have somebody draining your pockets in legal fees and your lawyers are squeezing you dry, sometimes it's best to settle before you go bankrupt. Chris Brown employs a ton of dancers. There are a lot of dancers that work because of him. He does the same thing that Michael Jackson did. Um, and I know that there were times that Michael Jackson settled because if you just keep letting them linger and linger and linger, it starts to affect your money. Like people don't realize when you get sued like this and you have to go back and forth to court, you have to pay for every motion, you have to pay for every hour, you have to pay for every phone call. Billable hours usually aren't cheap. When you're somebody that is at that status, you're kicking out $100,000 a month sometimes on these lawsuits.
right.
If you let that go for 3 years, do the math.
Yeah,
That's 1.2 million for every year. That's like $5 million for something that's not true. When you can shut it down now for 1 million and save yourself 2 or 3 million. See, that's why people come after wealthy people and they sue them. That's why there's so many law firms that are willing to take things pro bono or, I'll get paid when you get paid.
right,
Because as long as they have enough, cases coming through to keep the lights on, all they have to do is keep hitting that entertainer, hitting that entertainer, hitting that entertainer until they pay up. I mean, the truth is, it's dancing on the line of extortion.
right. That's what I was thinking.
And if you don't ever make it to trial, and if you keep getting hit with motion after motion after motion after motion, and then you have to wait for the judge to do this, and then you look at the judge's docket, do you know how many of these lawyers go and look at a judge's docket to see how many they to figure out when they going to sue to make sure that they can squeeze it through so people can get paid? Because you might not get heard for another 3 years, all depending on the docket. Like Demore Hadley's case, they were ready to go to trial this year, but Quinn Emanuel made sure that it's not until October of next year. See, they play these games because they keep hitting you and hitting you and hitting you and hitting you. And now that they successfully had both of the Hadleys gagged, now they get to control the narrative unless you got people like me and Wolfgang Amadeus out there keeping it up. I'm so glad we were able to collect all of her story in entirety the way we did before she was gagged, because we still get to run with it. We still get to be a voice for that. But once that happens, once the gag order is in place and nobody's allowed to talk, who has the most money to spin media gets to run the narrative.
Yeah. Crazy.
No, it's beyond crazy. It's put somebody in a straitjacket and asked them to break dance and do the boogaloo. Like it's insane. But this is how the law works, unfortunately.
Fortunately.
And I know because it's time for me to move forward and ask the judge to take my name off of that disgusting lawsuit that I was put in. And it's time for me to put in my counterclaim. But of course, that costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of money. But the good thing is that now that the trial is over, it makes her put me in that lawsuit look even worse. Because see, that lawsuit was put on me a week after I got the Defender of Freedom Award. See, that's malicious intent.
Yep.
That was done intentionally to destroy my character, which of course, no doubt, could cause great emotional distress, especially for somebody who suffers from complex PTSD, which I'm a survivor of because of my trauma in the past. See, that makes it look a little different. I wish a lawyer would say, you know what, Jag? I want to make some money. Let's go get this money. I wish somebody would just come up to me and say that, because it's nothing but money in the bank.
I'm
It's
sure they
just
will.
sad. It's just sad that I gotta go through all that though.
Right.
Like that's how credible I've become. That people are putting my name in lawsuits, calling me a Diddy employee of a criminal organization that he couldn't even get convicted for. That makes that look even worse.
Right.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move. Hey.